Hello, welcome to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas and today we're going to look at percentages of amounts, but we're using a calculator. Hope you're good and let's get started. Alright then, so we're going to look at a thing that's called multipliers. So some calculators have a percentage button, so this can save you a lot of time. So if you ever want to find a percentage of an amount, you can, so for instance, if you wanted to find 17% of, 34, you could write 17 and then there's a percent button. On mine it's like shift and it's this little button here, so just above that hopefully you'll see a percentage, so it's shift that and I get percent. So you can just do that and then times the number you want to find the percent of, so 34 for example, so it'd be 17% times 34. If not, you can use what's called a multiplier, and all that is you just divide the percent by 100 and that'll give you your decimal, and then you can just times that by whatever you want to find the percentage of that amount. So for example, if we wanted to find 22% of 57, we first just turn 22% into a decimal, which is 0.22, and then multiply this by 57 to get your answer. So 0.22 times 57, stick that in your calculator and you'll get 12.54. So these are just called multipliers because they're what you multiply by the amount you want to find the percentage of. Alright then, so let's just crack on with some questions. So feel free to pause the video and have a go, otherwise we'll just do them together. Alright, so number one, we want to find 39% of 68. So again, we just convert this into a decimal, so 39% is the same as 0.39, and we just times that by 68 in our calculator. So 0.39 times 68, and that gives me 26.52. Alright, next one, we want to find 58% of 3,478. So 58% is the same as 0.58, and we want to times that by 3,478. So 0.58 times 3,478, and that gives us 2,017.24. Alright, next one, we want to find 2% of 981. Now just be careful, so 2% as a decimal is not 0.2, because that would be 20%. So you need to divide by 100, it would be 0.02. So it's 0.02 times 981. 0.02 times 981. Oops, I've put in 987, so 981. And that gives us 19.62. Okay, and then finally, we want to find 41.6% of 3. So 41.6 as a decimal is going to be 0.416, and we want to times that by 3. So 0.416 times 3, and that gives us 1.248. Okay, alright then, so just a couple of word examples to have a go at. So number 5, we've got that in year 10 there are 150 students. 16% of them are left-handed. How many students are right-handed? Okay, well there's a couple of ways of doing this. Let's do both. So the first thing I'm thinking, well if 16% of them are left-handed, what percentage are right-handed? And then I can work that out. So 100% take away 16% is 84%. So that is right-handed, so let's just write that as RH. So then I can just find 84% of 150. So 84% as a decimal is going to be 0.84, and I'll just times that by 150. So 0.84 times 150, and that gives me 126. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The other way is you could straight away work out 16% of 150. So let's do it that way. So 16% is 0.16 times 150. So 0.16 times 150 gives us 24. Now that's the left-handed students. So to work out the right-handed students, we just take that away from 150 because that's the total amount of students. So 150 take away 24 gives you 126, which is exactly the same answer that we got before. So there's two ways of doing that. All right, and then the last question to have a look at. Okay, so over the last year, Michaela has played 300 games of badminton. Okay, less of a hobby, more of an obsession. She has drawn 7% of the games and she has lost 28% of the games. How many games of badminton has she won? Okay, so with this one, we want to figure out the percentage of games that she's won. So we've got 7% drawn and 28% lost. So let's just add those up. So 7 plus 28 is 35%. So that's drawn or lost. Let's write that like that. And then so 1 is going to be 100% minus this 35%, which is 65%. And that is 1. So we just want to find 65% of the game she's played, which is 300. So 65% is 0.65, and we times that by 300. So 0.65 times 300, and that gives us 195. Okay, and just like before, you could have done it the other way. You could have found 7% of 300 first, then 28% of 300, then added them up, then taken them away from 300. But that gets a bit more like too much hard work. So this is the kind of quickest way of doing this question, I think. All right, so this has been LK Tuition. Hope you found that useful, and I'll see you soon for some more maths videos.